Hey. Guys, welcome to my channel. This is a story of what if Sasuke regrets his decisions and want to make atonement for his sin. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, it will surely help me, and also it will notify you on my upcoming videos, and check the description for the creator of this great fanfic. Thank you. Now let's start the story. Chapter 2. Ultimate Eyes. Konohagakure Academy. Naruko stopped holding her stomach soon enough as she felt her chakra calm down a bit. Sasuke, however, was out for the count. Naruko carried his student to the infirmary faster than ever. As the nurse diagnosed the Uchiha, she noticed that his chakra became much more intense, massive, and especially, it felt colder. Naruko, on the other hand, felt her chakra calmer than ever. She felt that now she can do anything, despite her massive reserves, not tht she was aware. Hinata checked on her friend with her Kekkei Genkai, the Byakugan, and boy, she was surprised as she noticed how truly massive her chakra was. Naruko felt Hinata's eyes on her as she turned toward her. Hinata-chan, are you okay? You seem shocked. Nah, Naruko-chan, it's just that you have more chakra than all of us. Hinata told her friend. Surprisingly, Naruko returned with a staggered Sasuke. Sasuke, you can go home if you want to. Naruko told his student, who remained silent. You too, Naruko. Sasuke waited for the blonde's reply as she nodded. I'm okay now. I have no idea what happened, she said as she felt much better now. I'm staying, Sasuke said in a bored manner. Sasuke gave Naruko a warm look and then he glared outside as he remembered how disloyal her so-called friends were. He almost ripped them apart, but he decided that losing her love, future love, he corrected himself, was worse than death. Sasuke-san is looking at Naruko-chan with warm eyes. Does he love her? Hinata mentally noted that one day, she will talk to the Uchiha. Said Uchiha was now glaring at everything and anything. His eyes were cold, focused, and intense. He then sighed in a heartbreaking manner. She theorized the Uchiha was probably thinking about his own clan. But most surprisingly, how he gave his fangirls a murderous look as they fawned over his well-being. The entire class was shocked by this. How come that Sasuke of all people was showing any emotions? Last day he didn't even spare them a single glance. What would change this? After the class, Sasuke walked towards Naruko, who scowled at him. She was still angry about how the Uchiha was always, well, a jerk towards her. What do you want, Tem? She asked heatedly. Training. I think that you'll be an ideal sparring partner. Don't you think so, Naruko, Hinata? He said coolly. The blonde gave him a surprised look as she then looked at his eyes. They were warm. He then turned to a random direction as he smirked. Oh, Hyuga-chan, you can stop stalking our Naruko-chan for once. How did you know? You don't even have your dojutsu. Hinata's question was met with a mirthful smirk as he pointed at his nose. I can smell and hear you. The Uchiha clan are like cats, smell and hearing wise. And like birds of prey, eyesight wise. Sasuke's explanation made Naruko nod cutely, despite the fact that she didn't even know what he was talking about. So, you want to spar with me? Hinata's question was met with a head shake. I want to spar with Naruko. She always challenged me to a spar, so I thought, why not? Time to end this rivalry since I don't need a friend nor a rival. Sasuke replied a bit too calmly. Hinata's eyes widened. Would that mean? What do you see me then? Naruko asked Sasuke, who smiled at her warmly. A bit too warmly. Someone irreplaceable to me. Sasuke replied before he took his stance. Hinata, do the honor. Hajime. Naruko attacked Sasuke with a sloppy punch he dodged. A kick tht was too slow, he parried. Another punch he blocked before he dove and swept her legs with his, before he pinned her down with minimal effort. I win. He smiled at her and she begun to insult him. Well, then, how about we train together? Is this a game to you, Tem? Naruko asked Sasuke, who jumped up and away. Nope. He replied honestly, I genuinely admire you. Unlike the others, you seem the kind I can count in a pinch. Sasuke-san, you better not be playing with Naruko-chan. Hinata's threat seemed too cute for Sasuke, who smiled sadly. I was being honest. Go ahead. Use your all-seeing eye to interrogate me. I don't mind. Sasuke smirked arrogantly at Hinata. The Hyuga activated her Byakugan. Do you hate Naruko? She asked. No. He replied calmly. She smiled in satisfaction. Do you plan to play with her? Once again, she smiled further. Are you doing this out of pity or regret? This time he sighed. No and yes. I regret not doing this earlier. Okay. Well, I have to go, I have my eyes on you, Uchiha. Hinata's threat made Sasuke laugh madly. At least you have a good friend. Now then, how about we talk a bit? Sasuke asked the still fuming blonde. Talk. Talk about what, Tem? She yelled at him and he sighed. He still have to earn her affection. This was not the same Naruko he knew and loved. This is the Naruko he wanted to love, protect and maybe help. You. He said seriously as she now was shocked. He wanted to talk about her. What did he mean? What do you mean? You're too weird today. And what's with these warm eyes of yours? Naruko asked the Uchiha who sighed. I realized that. Well, you know. Maybe we got off the wrong foot. We should have talked ever since we were children. He confessed. He knew that his mother would have loved Naruko. As a daughter or an in-law, it was the same. That's an understatement. You know, what is so special in me? You never wanted to give anyone a second glance. Now you just want to befriend me. Naruko asked the 12-years-old who smirked. No. I want more than just befriend you. I want you to be my teammate. He confessed, and eventually. He then remembered his greatest regret, shame, and sorrow. Well, how about we properly introduce ourselves then? You. Me. In a date. Forget it. I hate you, Tem. Naruko replied angrily. Sasuke laughed straight her cuteness. You don't. Well, if it makes you feel better, you're an amazing girl that happens to have the right drive and mentality. How about you start? Ladies first and all. Sasuke replied nicely. Fine, I'll humor your weirdness. I'm Uzumaki Naruko, my hobbies are pranks, I like ramen, I hate you smug bastard, and I dream to become the first female Hokage. She answered as he smirked. Uchiha Sasuke. I hate anyone harming the defenseless and my close people. I have a girl that I like, and I have an ambition, to bring justice to the Uchihas, and marry a certain girl. Have a lot of children with her. Sasuke replied warmly at her and she was amazed how deep he was. He wanted to protect someone. I never thought that you like someone. Well, I will help you with that. Who's the unlucky girl? Naruko replied as he sighed sadly. She's the most amazing angel of a woman I ever met. Sasuke replied sadly, a forlorn expression on his face. Okay, I think that you should ask the Hokage for the Kage Bunshin. If you learn that, you'll pass. Sasuke replied calmly as she raised an eyebrow. Look, I know that you will make it. I promise. He smiled at her warmly before he walked to training grounds 3. The blonde went without saying another word. Sasuke however smirked as he started to train physically. He needed to be much stronger than ever if he was to protect his blonde. Interesting. The Uchiha is becoming more warm to Sensei's daughter. I think that I should note this. Kakashi smiled as he was watching over Naruko and Sasuke. Yo, I know that you are there, Kakashi. Sasuke said and the Hitaki sighed. Yes, what can I do for an academy student? Kakashi asked this kid who smirked arrogantly at him. Train Naruko harder, and get it into Sakura's mind that I hate fangirls. Sasuke told the Anbu who was shocked. Did he know about the team placement? How did you know? Kakashi asked his future student who smirked and showed him a 3 Tomos Sharingan. I held back a lot, but physically, I need to be stronger and faster than ever. He commented as Kakashi sighed. This kid will give him too much trouble. Rookies of the year and dead last. Oh, a smart one I see. Well then, I think that I can't help it them. Kakashi told Sasuke who smirked, evil glint in his Sharingan. I must get stronger than him and soon. I have jutsus, I know many things most people dream of knowing. But most of all, revenge isn't always the answer. But I think that one must take revenge on the precious unsacrificable person's behalf. Sasuke replied coldly. No, Kakashi noticed that Sasuke's eyes turned purple for a split second. Sasuke, how did you get the legendary? Kakashi asked the Uchiha who gave him an evil smirk. I lost everything, my light, my hatred festered like he wanted, but do you know what's the worth of power with no one to protect? Nothing. Sasuke exploded in rage as his chakra was released. Kakashi was terrified by the show. Oi, calm down. Let's talk about your physical training. Kakashi reminded the Uchiha who nodded gratefully. Let's consider this conversation never happened. Also, I have to make sure to protect her. He said sadly as he then remembered his own purpose. I must get stronger. She must regain what she lost because of their idiocy, and you must bring the old you back. See you soon. Sasuke smirked as he disappeared like thin air, leaving a very confused Hotake. The next day, hey, so you came, Naruko. I'm impressed. The raven-haired smirked as the blonde gave him a heated look. What do you want now? She asked. They were alone in the classroom. Well, I was thinking. Maybe I really like you. Sasuke confessed and she glared at him. This is the worst prank ever. She replied coldly. Sasuke felt hurt by her words. Says who? He asked and she sighed. You never gave me any attention before, why did you change? She asked Sasuke, who sighed tiredly. Because I figured out that it's better to live my own way instead of following a wrong path that would cost me everything. He told her before he was in front of her. You're the most special person I know. He said with a warm smile. She was taken back. Then the screeching of Sakura and Ino saved her. She immediately noticed Hinata and went over to the shy Hyuga, who sat with Shino at her right and Naruko at her left. As the two fangirls fought over who will sit next to Sasuke, the Uchiha just gave them a cold glare. You know, I hate useless fangirls. He commented harshly and the two girls gave him a disbelieving look. Why can't you two just take this seriously? You think that this is a game. It is not. Death and shinobi are the same word. Naruko was shocked at Sasuke's harsh words before Hinata's sad look and nod made her understand that the Uchiha was serious about the whole speech. There goes his nice guy mask, she thought. Naruko-chan, he was honest yesterday. Hinata whispered. You always had his attention. You two make a cute couple, come to think about it. Me and the girly looking bastard. Never. Naruko replied as Sasuke sighed. Should he? He didn't care one bit anymore. This will either prove to be a totally successful gamble, or a total failure. Naruko, I have a secret to tell you, if you want to come to Hokage-sama's office. What do you say? Sasuke asked the blonde, who gave him a questioning look as soon. All of his fangirls turned towards her, their evil aura was suffocating. Before they could do anything, Sasuke unleashed his killing intent at them solely. Being a yin release fueled by an undying hatred, it made them either faint, either soil themselves, either fall down on their knees and throw up. He smirked in satisfaction as his message was loud and clear. Naruko was his to protect. Oi Tem, that was mean. Naruko yelled as he shook his head at her naivety. If I hadn't done that, they would have beaten you down. Sorry, but I do care. He commented as Hinata giggled. Sasuke was a yandere. Who would have thought? Like I would like you eventually. Naruko yelled at him and he smirked. A tsunere, huh? That's interesting enough. I don't know about that. He replied calmly as her cheeks heated. He vowed to snatch her from everyone else. He will protect her one way or another. That he swore. Even if he would have to go out, even if he would have to eventually leave for a while, momentarily, to eliminate the Akatsuki, he will come back. His heart clenched at the thought of how he will break the news to her. Hey Naruko, I'm sorry, but I have to kill an organization of S-rank nuke nin. Yeah right. That was the surest way to estrange her forever. Sasuke-san, can we talk a bit? Hinata's voice cut his musings and he kinda glared straight her before his eyes softened a bit. Just enough to get the Hyuga to understand that he is not her enemy. He was however afraid of losing his blonde. Yeah sure. Want to sit here with Naruko? Be my guest. Sasuke said honestly, and the Hyuga surprisingly pushed her best friend to sit alongside the last loyal, for now, Uchiha. Said Uchiha was thinking about how to tell his future, he will make it a reality, lover about her darkest secret, until his mind reached the conclusion of the Hokage. Well, it's about Naruko-chan. Do you really? Hinata's question was cut by Iruka, who screamed at everyone to sit down. Sakura sat down at the side of Kiba and Shino, while Ino sat down with Shikamaru and Choji. As the class went like always, boring as hell, Sasuke and Hinata whispered to each other, and Naruko whispered to Hinata. Okay, Sasuke, why is the Mokuden so rare? Iruka asked the Uchiha, who smirked knowingly. It's not a regular Kekkei Genkai. To recreate it, most people took the Shodai cells, not knowing that it wasn't just combining water and earth together, or else we would have had an army of Mokuden users. It needed something else, as it was converting chakra into a source of life. He replied as the entire class gave him a shocked expression. What was that all about? Good. Now, which clans did it manifest into? Iruka asked, and once again, Sasuke answered. The Senju most of the times, but also the Uzumaki clan sometimes. A little known fact is that the Uzumaki clan and the Senju clan were cousin clans. Sasuke smirked as all of the classroom turned to Naruko. Hey, weird, they are known for their massive chakra reserves and vitality, red hair and mastery of Fuinjutsu. Good. Now, Sasuke, talk about the Uchiha clan's greatest attribute. Haruka asked and Sasuke replied evilly. Hatred. An Uchiha can only love once in his or her lifetime, usually at a young age. Once they lose said person, they become overfilled with hatred. The more hatred they have, the more powerful their eyes. An Uchiha would go to great length for the sake of their loved ones, but if said loved ones are betrayed in any shape or formed or harmed, their hatred would be focused on said people. And they would return even from the grave, literally, to avenge them. If they know how that's it. Sasuke's explanation made the entire class realize something. The rumor about Sasuke liking someone was true. Shikamaru noticed Sasuke's warm eyes as he took a few glances at Naruko, and his cold terrifying aura whenever he looked at the boys and fangirls. This was way too troublesome. Okay, now, does anyone have someone they like? Haruka asked and Sasuke was about to raise his hand, then he remembered that the fangirls would turn Naruko to shred. Okay, write the name of said person. Sasuke immediately wrote Naruko's name. He would have given her, but she threw her own paper away after making a paper plane of it. The Uchiha burned his own in a silent rage before he excused himself when the bell rang. Sasuke sighed dejectedly as he noticed how the fangirls were following him. If killing intent didn't work. Sharingan. He said and showed them how deep his hatred and darkness was. Well, the loss of each and every one he loved killed him as a good person. He definitely needed a shrink, or Naruko. He walked in a depressed pace before Shikamaru and Hinata went for him. Sasuke, mind a little question. Shikamaru asked the Uchiha who glared at him. With his Sharingan. Be quick with your words, Nara. Sasuke warned the lazy genius who sighed. Look, we know that you like, perhaps love Naruko. What's your end goal? Shikamaru asked in curiosity as Sasuke threatened him with his Sharingan. You never heard this, or you're both dead. I want to marry Naruko one day. I know a lot about her. And I will protect her from everyone and everything. I want her to be my wife, the mother of my children, and my partner. Sasuke replied sadly. He never got to experience these. Then try to be there for her. You try, but if you say this in front of the fangirls. Hinata said sadly and Sasuke smirked. I know. Also, keep that mud on a tight leash, or I will kill him. She'd better not try to date anyone else, or I swear, they're not going to find the body. Sasuke warned truthfully before he disappeared like a lightning bolt. They'll be a cute couple. Shikamaru commented as Hinata giggled. She totally agreed. Later Hokage office Naruko looked at her surrogate grandfather nervously. Sasuke was already there, looking at her with these warm eyes of his that used to be so cold and distant not 2 days ago. She was seriously wondering what's wrong with him to be this weird after he fell with the mother of all migraines in the classroom yesterday. Hokage Jichin, why did you ask for me? Naruko asked the old man who sighed tiredly. Well Naruko-chan, Sasuke-kun told me that he saw something sealed within you, and he told me that he would like to know. What I will say is an S-rank secret that's a capital punishment. He told me that he can keep any secrets of yours. Hiruzen told the girl sadly as Sasuke's eyes softened even further. What do you mean? Naruko asked. You see, 12 years ago, the Yondaime could have never killed a Biju, he sealed it inside of a baby girl. You to be exact. Hiruzen told the girl in a tired, sad tone. His old eyes showed her the compassion she deserved. That means that I am the Kyuubi. Naruko asked herself. The stares, glares, whispers, the ignoring, the parents keeping their children away. It all made sense. You are his jailer. You are you, the only kunoichi I can respect enough in our class, the only girl who I accept as an equal, you are Uzumaki Naruko. The Kyuubi is his own being. Sasuke replied heatedly, much to the shock of the old Hokage. You are my lover in a future. Sasuke whispered to himself. She turned at him, her blue eyes burning with rage. Teme. You knew all along. Do it. Mock me like the others. Jeer me, hate me. Naruko replied as she almost broke down. Go away. She whispered and Sasuke remained at her side. I can't do any of that. I only knew recently. But I am not going away. I just can't let you alone. Sasuke replied as he felt a stab of hurt as he remembered how he treated her in the past, alternative future. Sasuke, I have no one. Naruko looked at him with her eyes wet with tears as the Uchiha gave her a sad look. You're wrong. You have me more than anyone. I will not leave unless I have to save a friend of mine. Sasuke replied honestly, even if I do leave, I will always love you. I am not even human. Naruko replied desperately. She had a biju sealed inside of her. Yes you are. You are a pretty cute girl if I say so. A cute gorgeous girl that will definitely be an amazing kunoichi. A girl that I do like and respect. Sasuke replied only for her to glare at him. You'll grow tired of me eventually and go after someone else. And also, I know that you are just playing with me. Naruko replied angrily. Naruko-chan, Sasuke-kun is telling the truth. I know because he looks at you the same look many people who love each other do. I know from experience. Hiruzen replied wisely. Sasuke nodded at the Hokage with gratitude before he flashed his crush a warm smile. Sasuke, why? Why do you like me? Naruko asked Sasuke who smiled sadly. Because I know your true value. Because I know who you really are. Because I just don't really know how to put it in words. But yeah, after fighting you so much, I just wanted to make it up to you, since I realized how rare you are. Sasuke replied sadly. It took them a war to begin dating, they had tons of make-up sex though, then Naruko got terminally ill because of Shimata. Sasuke swore as he turned to the old man. Hokage-sama, how good you are with Fuinjutsu. I'm a level 7, why? The Hokage asked only for Sasuke to flash his Rinnegan. He scanned Naruko's body before he found a seal on her lower back. I'm going to explain later. Now, there is a seal in Naruko-chan's lower back. Could you please destroy it? Sasuke asked the old man who gave him a questioning look. Sasuke sighed and held Naruko tightly. Hey, what are you doing, Aro Gigi, Aro Tem? Naruko protested as Sasuke glared at her darkly before he put her in an immobilizing genjutsu. Saving your life. Sasuke pointed at the small chakra nature seal. This is. Who could? This seal can easily kill a shinobi at long-term use. Hiruzen's blood froze as he remembered last year's incident. Danzo, I'm sicking Itachi on you. Fuinjutsu. Fuin no Hakai. And Naruko unleashed a blood-freezing scream of pure agony as she passed out. Sasuke caught her in his arms and carried her bridal style. That was too close for comfort. Sasuke said as he remembered how late they knew about that seal. Had it remained, Naruko would have died. Sasuke-kun, please tell me how you got this Rinnegan. Hiruzen asked the Uchiha who sighed sadly. I awakened them both, individually. I died to awaken the left, and I lost the last light of my life to awaken the right. Now then, who can do this? Sasuke asked Hiruzen who sighed. The old man walked with the last Uchiha who carried Naruko to the hospital. Hiruzen noticed that Sasuke's chakra was through the roof. Let me guess, time-traveling Jikuken Kenjutsu. Hiruzen asked Sasuke who was shocked at the wisdom of Hiruzen. Please, I lived long enough to bury a lot of people, why should I be surprised? This is not my secret to tell. But if you want, you can tell Naruko-chan about her parents. It breaks my conscience that the hero is being treated like that. But you remind me of the kind-hearted Madara before he defected. He was always looking for the Leaf's best interest. He threatened the other nations just to get them submit to Konoha whenever they were treacherous. I know. I read his journal, his jutsus, everything. Before he defected, he was Konoha's wall. Had he been Hokage, the Bijus would never leave Konoha. He said sadly. He will make sure that the Biju are well treated, and have some good Jinchuriki, or being totally free. 2 days later Naruko opened her eyes only to see Sasuke in the hospital room with her. The Uchiha was giving her a sad look as she glared at him. What do you want now? Naruko hissed at Sasuke who sighed. Nothing. Just to tell you about the fact that tomorrow we'll have the final exams, and Hokage-sama told me that I can do whatever I liked. I felt like staying here. Sasuke replied honestly. She gave him an angry look. I still haven't forgotten about your stunt. Why did you do that? Naruko asked Sasuke who had a sad, heartbroken, soul-crushed look on his face. That seal would have killed you. It would form an incurable disease, and trust me when I say incurable. Sasuke remembered what Tsunade have told him. The disease was formed because of a seal. Jiraiya was a seal master, yet his complacency have cost Sasuke everything. You saved me. Why? Naruko asked Sasuke, who smirked. Because my life without a hyperactive, orange-wearing, cute, strong blonde girl would be an utter hell. Sasuke's words made her blush, she never felt this before. No. He was playing with her. Yes, he was pranking her. Nice try, Tem. You can't prank the prank mistress. Naruko saw that hurt eyes of his. Oi, stop the act. She said, and he sighed. When will you realize that I was honest? He said seriously, and the doctor got in. As she diagnosed her, she discharged the blonde who changed her clothes while Sasuke was waiting outside. Then she walked out as he tried to support her while she smacked him a few times before she gave up. It was too late for him to leave her on her own. Say, Naruko, how about we go to my apartment? I can take the couch, you can take the bed. He suggested as she shook her head in denial. Seeing no other alternative, he practically dragged her there, as she kicked and screamed about his kidnapping fetish. Sasuke's apartment. Naruko blinked as she was astounded how tidy it was. Sasuke gave her a flat look as she was seriously wondering why he would be this nice to her. He went to the kitchen and unsealed a ramen bowl. A still steaming bowl of her favorite food. Eat up, like you usually do. I had lunch already and I am not hungry at the moment. Sasuke told Naruko, who gave her a cute sad look. Sasuke, please tell me that you are joking. Please. I don't know if I can love anyone or it is within my right to do so. Naruko confessed why she never thought about dating. I am not. I seriously admire you. You're strong, like only I am strong enough to protect you eventually. Sasuke replied as the girl's cheeks flared. As for your right, what's preventing you? These disgusting piece of garbage who scorned a defenseless orphan. Would they have done the same thing if it was a clan's child? Huh. I don't know. If you're not joking, then why? Naruko asked Sasuke, who smiled at her genuinely. Because I low like you, Uzumaki Naruko. Not because of your last name, not because of your ancestors, not because of your power. Because of who you are, a cute angel of a kind sweet girl that I must cherish, protect and even sacrifice my life for. Sasuke replied as Naruko hid her face in her palms. Please, why? Why me? I know that you like me, but I don't know if I can even return the feeling. I was never loved my entire life. Naruko confessed her fears. You will learn eventually. Just act as who you really are. I know that you are the most unique person. Sasuke replied as she blushed even further. She felt afraid how he was coaxing her to like him more than a friend. Do you think that I'm a normal girl? She asked him as he smirked. Nope. You wear a bright orange jumpsuit, something that no ninja should do so. You're loud, friendly, and extremely unladylike. Unlike these fangirls, you'd rather train than dieting and taking care of your appearances, you'd rather fight than arrange flowers or any feminine stuff, you're always picking fights and insulting people. Naruko felt sorrow grip her the more Sasuke talked. There goes her secret crush. And that's exactly why I love you, my son. Huh. Naruko's mind went blank. She's his son. You know something. The moon can never exist without its sun, that I know. Sasuke had a dejected, forlorn glitter in his eyes. I decided that I better ask you out before anyone else does. But, what about your fangirls? Naruko asked as he shrugged. Beat their asses. He replied bluntly. What about Kiba? Shikamaru? Hinata's cousin? Lee Senpai? Naruko asked Sasuke, who, for a split second, activated his Rinnegan in a terrifying cold fury. I will cut them to shreds if they do anything to force themselves upon you. He replied seriously. Okay, once we're 15, I think that maybe we should. You know, start dating officially. Naruko asked Sasuke, who gave her a sad look before his eyes widened. You better not start dating someone else, cause I will definitely kill him, or her. Sasuke warned, and for a split second, Naruko saw a beaked, jagged-teethed humanoid giant above Sasuke. Oi Tem, since when you became this scary, sweet, terrifying, nice, protective, possessive and dark at the same time? Naruko asked as she slurped her ramen. Sasuke gave her a fond smile, a nostalgic look in his eyes. Since you stole my soul. He replied as he remembered how she managed to tie him up in another timeline. It was love at the first punch, but it was true undying love nonetheless. Sasuke then activated his Rinnegan. People said that this dojutsu is the ultimate eyes, but they were all wrong. Sasuke, your eyes. Naruko looked straight him, mesmerized by the hypnotic gaze. Hey, the Rinnegan is not the ultimate eyes. I'm looking at them right now. He flirted with the blonde who remained silent. Inside, however, she was grinning. Maybe one day she will give him some satisfaction, but not today. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like for more what ifs and support the author. See you guys in the next video.